I guess first off, Coach, just how are you guys feeling with the regional coming on Monday?
We're excited for sure. The Seminole Legacy Club is such a special place, and to be able to show this off to other colleges, and then also for our players to be able to play on a place that they love, and it's nice to be home.
It's such a mental game and a game of feel, and obviously being at home, how much can that give you an advantage, in such a high-stakes environment like this?
It is an advantage. I mean, this is one of the sports where there's, tennis court could be a little different, but it's pretty much the same. A basketball arena could be different too, but golf's a lot different, and the grasses, the elevations, and different types of things. So there is an advantage, but we still have to execute, still have to hit the shots, and with the field that we have coming in here, they're all really talented too. So it's going to be some fun.
Where's the emphasis been on the short game? Because with a course like this, that's where your advantage comes from.
It is. We just tried not to change anything. They had a little bit of a slow week last week. Some had some U.S. Open qualifiers. We really kicked it back up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today, where we did just the normal things that we've done since February, and didn't want to change what we do, and don't want to make a big deal out of it. It's still a golf tournament, and it's like preparing for a major championship. If you put too much into it and change what you're doing, then you're losing trust, and you just kind of get out of your own element.
Obviously, you didn't finish where you wanted to in the ACC championship, but finishing like that and kind of having a room to kind of grow and get closer to where you actually want to finish the season with a national championship, how could that kind of help you at this time of year?
Well, I'm glad our program's to a point with losing to the 10th ranked team in the country and an extra playoff hole is a disappointment to everyone now. So Coach Martin told me that a long time ago. He said, where you're at and the expectations happen, and that's why you're at Florida State. We played for championships, and they're just super disappointed, and they'll rebound. And golf's hard. Any sport is hard to win. Okay, and especially golf, and us playing in Kentucky, and I'm just proud of the way they prepared, first of all, and the way they competed, and then how they handled it like gentlemen afterwards.
You kind of touched on it, but do you see that kind of driving their preparation and focus? They were a little disappointed, and they want to get back at home and get it over there. Do you see that kind of edge in their preparation? They
have some things that they still want to accomplish, for sure, and that was one of them, and you saw that in their disappointment. But in the end, that's good, because they know that they're good enough to win. They have confidence in each other, and I think the main thing with this team is the culture is so good, is they weren't really disappointed in themselves. They were disappointed that the team didn't get to win. And a great example would that have been Tyler losing the ACC championship individually by a stroke, and when I went up and patted him on the back, he said, none of us came here for that. We came here to win as a team. So that was the disappointment more than anything else.
Do you feel like last season's run kind of changed the mindset of this group? And that could have been the mindset always, but do you think that helped galvanize them and kind of buy into that collective team aspect?
We have a thing that we say, what's your legacy going to be? How are you going to leave this program? And this team that's here now with Gray has finished, they've gone into this tournament, the NCAA tournament, as a top 10 team for 4 out of the last 5 years. And so they know what they want to do. They want to do something different that other teams haven't done, and they want that to be their legacy. But once again, it's more about the team than it is them.
Does that level of consistency with these guys being here, how much of past experiences do you think is going to help shape the way they kind of execute and look at the courses?
Well, it's invaluable. And the fact that we lost 3 All-Americans last year, and which is unheard of when you're playing 5 guys, and we played a few more than that. But when you lose 3 All-Americans and still have a team as talented as this one, it says a lot about them as individuals and what they want to do. So I think those experiences from being in there and getting that close will only help them, and they're looking forward to that opportunity again.
Part of my ignorance, but how much strategy is involved with you as the head coach in terms of who are you going to send out when? Is that out of your hands, or is that something that's you have control over how you want to get guys out there?
So that's actually a really good question. And in postseason, they let us substitute a player if we need to. So if you have a player that's not playing well, or they're ill or injured, unlike the regular season, which is kind of crazy that we play by different rules, we can actually sub a player in. And we've been up front with the players on the team and said, this is a team thing, and we may sub you in, and we need you to handle it like any other sport would. You need to be supportive and know that you're going back in at some other time, and don't feel sorry for yourself. So sometimes pulling someone is good for them to step back and look at it. But they all know we have complete confidence in them to put them in at any point in time. So having extra extra players that are ready to play, I think, our depth, and we use that as a bonus, especially when you start to play 36 whole days, which we may have to play on Tuesday here. Then to be able to bring a fresh player in after that sometimes helps.
I talked about, like, at this point, less is more. It seems kind of like we're talking to these guys. But how much are they, as a team, like, communicating with each other and trying to help each other, and just not so much like swing mechanics, but just be in the right mental state to execute?
We always talk about being a great teammate, and that just says supporting your teammate, being where you need to be, and never doing anything individually that would draw away or draw attention away from what the ultimate goal is. So that's, like I said, being on time, supportive. Everyone likes to hear a good shot. But as far as helping each other with their golf game, they all have their own job to do, and they're pretty good about separating and handling their own business.
You mentioned the weather just now. Just going into the week, knowing what it could be. How do you kind of prepare or talk about what's the conversation going like?
So there's a few things that we tell our team in the first team meeting. Is the three things that we never talk about at Florida State are the weather, your playing partner, or playing conditions. Okay, and those are three things you can't control. Once again, I'll quote Coach Martin. I was sitting in a locker room with him at a regional coach's locker room in Stanford, and there was no way we were going to play, and he told me to put my phone down that we were playing. So we're prepared to play whenever they are, and we'll be ready.
What is a guy's experience? What is Luke's experience? Like, how does that help this team in the most important part of the year right now?
Well, there's a lot of incredible things about Luke. One of them that is really, really catching the eyes of the other coaches is it's very difficult to go from playing in the U.S. Open and making cuts and almost winning PGA Tour events to coming back to college golf. And to be honest, it's like pitching in the World Series and being sit back down to single A. And not to say anything about either one of those, but it takes a really special person to bring that energy down and keep that energy and high energy that he has to come back and win the Watersound tournament right after he got his tour card. So it's incredible what he did and what he's doing, and he's the energy for this team. And when he goes onto the PGA Tour, we're going to miss the 67s and 8s. But one of the things we're really going to miss out of Luke is just the energy and the chatter, and you'll see it behind me right now. He'll be the one running his mouth and trying to motivate everybody.
I guess there's been a lot of anticipation for this upcoming week, but now that it's right around the corner, how are you guys feeling? How excited are you?
Yeah, we're really excited. We kind of just want to get it going now. I mean, it's been talked about for a long time. We're all ready and looking forward to it. Yeah.
We talked to Coach about it, but with golf, it's a mental game. It's all about feel. You guys can play at home.
Yeah.
You practice here, you play here. How much of an advantage can that give you, especially, the yardage book might say one thing, but you know that you can feel something different. How important is that?
Yeah, that's really important, especially just around the greens. That's the biggest thing around here, and us playing it every day, knowing where to miss, the best place to miss to still make par is massive. And then also, if we're not hitting it well off the tee, we can still make par from a lot of the positions and the pin positions. We've seen every single one that we're going to be playing. So yeah, it's going to play a lot into our favour for sure.
Is there a certain silver lining that you guys can find from losing in the ACC championship, knowing that just kind of another idea about how good you have to be to win in college golf?
Yeah, I mean, losing the ACC championship we all didn't feel great after it, but the main goal for all of us is the national championship, and that's all we're focused on. So yeah.
I guess getting into the top 50 ranking, I mean, what does that do for your sort of confidence, and is it easy to separate that from what you have to do here with your teammates?
Obviously, it's a nice thing being top 50 in the world, but the main thing is winning with Florida State, and that's all we want to do, and everyone on the team wants the same goal at the end of the day. So that's all we're focused on, is the team aspect of it.
How much of that does that start with Coach Jones, or is that something that's just with you guys, that you guys can kind of put your personal accolades and goals aside and kind of come together to get
yeah, a lot of it does come from Coach Jones, but also a lot of it does come from us. So we all want to do well for each other and the school, and I would say that's the main thing. We just want to do well for each other. Yeah, so that's the main thing.
Your coach was saying that the weather this upcoming week is kind of trying to be the furthest from your mind, but
yeah.
I mean, it does look a little rainy. So I mean,
yeah.
what is on your mind going into that? Do you think it's? I mean, sorry. Do you feel like that is going to affect the week, or are you just kind of like your coach says, like?
Yeah, obviously it's gonna affect some things, but also you just need to wait until Like, you actually get out there and play and see how it is, and then you can adapt to that. There's no point in trying to like think of something and then it doesn't happen or something like that. So yeah, we're just going to wait and see what actually happens when it comes to Monday.
Are you pretty confident with how these greens react to water on the green?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, they drain really well, and Heath and his team do a great job. So the course will be in great shape no matter what.
Can you remember the last time like you played youth golf and the guy you were going up against was like ranked like so much more above you, and like what that feeling was like? And I guess maybe what you and Luke going up against these other guys, the sort of intimidation factor you might have over somebody in a setting like this?
Wait, can you repeat that question?
I can't imagine like being who Luke is and then being some kid from Mercer going up against Luke Clanton or going up against a guy that's tough in the world. I mean, can you remember ever going up against somebody in youth golf that was like some kind of big hot shot and like how that affected your
yeah, I can, but like I have always used it as motivation of like I want to go out there and try and beat them. Like it's a great opportunity that that you can have, and yeah, it'll be great for people. Yeah.
All right. That was a terrible. Can you walk us back to the ACC championship and just like being the leader in the clubhouse, what that feeling was like and how that all went for you?
Yeah, that was a nice feeling. Obviously, being leader in the clubhouse was good, and the team was through, so it was an exciting moment. But at that point, my head had kind of switched on to the match play. So whatever happened after that didn't really matter too much to me.
Your coach was saying how you almost won stroke play, but that didn't matter to you. What mattered is the team. And how important is that mindset and what you guys have had as a team going into this, the most important time of the year? Yeah,
of course. I mean, we all know that the biggest thing is winning the team trophy. So however we do that, if I win or someone else wins, that's great. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win the team prize. So that's it. Yeah.
With that team preparation, it's such an individual sport. But how does it maybe, if a round's not going your way, and you're in the tournament with a bunch of guys and you're trying to chase them down, it may change your mindset. But when you're in a team setting, it's just like, let's get this hole. You never know what that one birdie, one par can do. How does it change your approach on the course?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that you need to grind out every shot, and every shot matters. So making sure you're focused all the time, and no matter how bad the round is going, you're fighting for your teammates, not only yourself. So it's a great chemistry thing.
You guys get a familiar feeling for the regional. Playing at home, we've talked to some of the guys, just the advantages that can bring to you, especially when there's going to be some high pressure moments. But you guys know this course, the greens. How important is that for you?
Yeah, I think it's a really big thing. We get to play out here every day, so we know the course really well, and I think that kind of settles us down a little bit, gives us a lot of confidence, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
To get your first career win not too long ago, and to place so highly at the conference tournament, are you peaking at the right time? It feels like. Can you feel momentum within yourself?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'd like to peak at the right time. But yeah, I'm just trying to get better every day and kind of keep my journey on an incline and just do the best I can each week.
Just the energy between the guys right now. How exciting is this moment? Obviously, the postseason's always exciting, but home and what you guys accomplished last year and the motivation and hunger to get there, how exciting and how good do you guys feel right now?
Yeah, you can feel it within us every session. Even just now, we were getting pretty competitive, but it's all good, and yeah, we can't wait, and the pressure's building, and we can feel that, but that's why we practice every day, and that's what we're looking for, so we can't wait.
I guess adversely to that, how important is keeping it comfortable right now, not making the pressure too high, not saying, oh, this is a regional, just it's another day in the golf course? Yeah, I mean, Coach mentioned to us earlier, I mean, we're not trying to do anything extra now. What we've done the whole season is working. We're all progressing well and doing well, so just because it's the regionals and the nationals now, we just keep doing what we've been doing, and yeah, just keep pushing.
Here we are at this point. I mean, this is kind of, I guess, what you expect at Florida State to be in these sort of moments, but what's just the feeling been like, and I guess the message from Coach Jones and amongst you guys?
Yeah, it feels great to be here. We expect to be here, but Coach has us prepared, and we're doing everything that we can to be ready for this week, and we're not too focused about what's in front of us past regionals. We're focused on the task at hand.
How much different does it feel than a normal tournament because you get to play it on your home course?
It's definitely a weird feeling, not having to travel, which is honestly nice. We've been on the road quite a bit, but here at home, we're super familiar with this place and love being out here. We're going to have great support from the people that come out and watch, and of course we know the course, but it's great to be home.
Just this energy right now that you guys have. We've heard from everybody. You know, you guys are really motivated, hungry. Just how has practice been? How has preparation been? And how are you guys personally feeling, you know, heading into this next week?
Yeah, it's competitive, no question. We're focused. We're ready to go this week. I think that the biggest thing for us is just how much we love being around each other. You know, it's pretty easy to come out here and love spending time out here because of the people that you get to do it with. My best friends are on this team, and there's no one else that I'd rather be with. So coming out here doesn't feel like a job or anything. It's fun.
Top 10 finish, you know, winning your 2 matches at ACCs. I mean, just what does that do for your motivation, and what's kind of been the feeling in the locker room? Like the guys know that like you're here and you're ready to step up and help out. Yeah, you know, not playing a whole lot earlier in the semester, it sucks not playing well, but been playing good as of late, and it makes you want to keep coming out here, whether it's good times or bad times. But you see the progress and see what I know I can do. So it's good to see some of that on the golf course, not just in practice. You know, winning my 2 matches at ACCs was awesome. It was a lot of fun. You know, we didn't get it done as a team, unfortunately, but it's stuff to build on. There's always little things that you can take away from good play and bad play. So it's good to see some results.
Personally, for you, being from Tallahassee, you got a pretty big fan section coming this week.
I hope so. Yeah, I know that a lot of people have said that they want to come out and watch. So it's going to be great to see the support, especially at a regional tournament where you never know when your last day is going to be. So it's good to have the fans back us. What felt connected, I guess, that you were able to win like the 2 biggest matches that you had this season at the ACCs? Like what kind of felt locked in for you, I guess? It felt great. I think that my biggest thing was definitely my putter. I putt really well the 36 holes. Well, didn't quite play 36 holes, which is a good thing. But no, my putter was good. But also just the support that I get from everybody. You know, it's Gray wasn't playing his best, so I went in for him, but you know, he had my back, he was pumping me up, so that's just kind of the team environment that we have. It doesn't matter who's playing, it just matters that we're all there supporting each other. Coach mentioned that, like, I guess this part of the season, there's alternates, like he can bring a guy in the middle. I mean, just I guess everybody now realizes like the impact they can have at a moment's notice. Yeah, postseason, it's a different kind of golf. You know, if we travel with 6 guys, if somebody's struggling, we've got other people that can go in and get the job done. So we've got a very deep team, and I think that's a huge strength for us.
How does that kind of change your approach? It's such an individual sport, but you're also playing as a team. Like, it can be easy in a tournament if things are getting away from you to kind of think, all right, get complacent. But when you're in a team setting, it's like, man, I got to grind out every hole no matter what. How does that kind of change your approach mentally?
Mentally, you know, we have played so much golf, and we're so used to being in a competitive environment. You know that if things aren't going well, you've got experiences that you can go back on and think about, okay, how am I going to get this back on track? But there is certainly an added pressure playing for a team. You're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the guys that you're working with every day. So there's definitely a little bit of extra juice that you're feeling, but it's a good feeling to have.